what made you come to say to me, let's start a podcast? What was the idea? What was the vision behind that? What made you?
So that was part of like a business or something new we can do. Let's do podcasts. Like, because also I was learning marketing with social media marketing. So now that's where social media marketing comes. Oh, maybe even if to podcast, it could be much easier. And then also because I was listening, never go that through YouTube, and then also I can see the podcast listening. You see, it's all connected. So what I was listening, and I see them talking, and I see their pictures every day on YouTube, and I can see them listen. So that's how they connected. Say, okay, podcast. See, but when you say podcast, you don't straight away thinking it's how you go to teach your message through. So you just think it's podcast, but you don't know what you're going to talk about in that podcast. And you're learning some things which is already in your mind.
So you didn't think straight away that I can use this podcast to teach what I'm seeing with these guys. But you said, okay, podcast could be a good business for the social media marketing. But was it also like the way I see Neville Goddard, I can also be seeing myself on there as well? Yes. But you didn't know that you were going to be teaching
like that way. I didn't know I could be talking like them. I didn't know I'd be like see, or of course I used to think I want to be like them. But when I do the podcast straight away, I never think that way. But now what happened now, when you keep going now, when you keep talking now, and then you start sending like a Facebook thing there, when I look, I say, oh, I start to see myself become like them. See, that is how mind remind you. Look, you become like Never God.
When you see stuff on YouTube,
you see you're taking message to people. You see you're telling something there. And you see, when you're starting this thing, it's just to tell you, to talk what you feel, to share. And some people listen to you. And they do. Some they respond, others they don't respond. But the message is going out there. And to change, that is not your job. Your job is just to speak. Your job is just to feel your experience. Because you see, also this is troubling. But when your mind tells you, keep saying that. Say, oh, you can't do that. See? And then, okay. But later your mind say, oh, you can do this way, something else. And you wake up, you record. You wake up, have a message in my mind. Okay, let me share this message on social media. That always I keep saying, the person who have created this internet, YouTube, Google's, this social media, it's a game changer for the community. But you see, it has both good and evil. There is nothing which it doesn't have both. Everything in life, everybody's in mind, they have two things, good and evil. So you choose which one you go to use.
And even with when we talk about this social media through this podcast, you see what you're doing. A lot of people your age, obviously it's a young age, but they think, oh, I can't do that, man. And they have a desire to do it, But like you said, you have learned how to use social media to teach. But I just think that the reason you're still here today, doing what you're doing here, of course, we help each other with the consistency and the love and passion for this, is because you have a burning desire to teach what you're listening to. That is the cornerstone of everything. That's what's going to keep you going for the next 100 years.
It's burning desire. If I was born in a city in Kigali, in Rwanda, in the capital city, my father was...
Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought of starting a podcast? I know it's a scary thought at times. Where do I start? What equipment do I use? How do I produce a whole show? Maybe you're someone out there who loves yourself and loves the message in who you are and how you're spreading your unique gifts out to the world. But you just need a platform to do it on. You need a platform for people to be able to go and hear your unique and valuable story and how you're impacting people's lives. Well, here at the Rubasha Family Podcast, we're really proud to be able to use podcasting to change the world. We have been doing this and it has changed our life. For us to be able to market and be able to tell our stories of people around us and the way it's impacting and adding value to people's lives. You are that person. You have that gift. You have that talent. And that gift and talent needs to be seen. It needs to be heard. Your downfalls, your amazing moments, your business needs to reach more people. That is what we do here at the Rubasha Family Podcast. So for a select few, we can have you as a guest on our show. For me as the host to ask you questions about what you do. This is a skill, creating this content, being able to film, produce it. It is a valuable skill that we have learned and we want to utilize that to help as many people as possible. So you'd have me as your host, ask you questions, get to know you and your business and how to build up your personal brand. We're then able to market and repurpose content from the podcast on all platforms, including your network. So if you really want to be in touch, if you want to be a guest on our show and be able to use marketing material from this valuable podcast, from your valuable story out to more people, we have that available. If you need help and assistance in publishing and producing your own podcast and just don't know how to go about it, how to do it, and you need that assistance, we provide that service as well. Being able to fully produce, edit, and publish your podcast on all networks. And maybe you just need a consultation call, some help in order to, how can you go about this strategy? Strategic ways into thinking on how you can use your podcast as a funnel for your business. You could use the podcast as a funnel for your personal brand, for people to know the face, for people to know your amazing story. If just one person can be impacted from your story, that is what matters. This is something that 100, 200 years from now, your legacy will be remembered by. So the link in the bio, there is a form for you to fill out. Go out there, fill out the form, and we'll get you started on how we can help your personal brand today.
A merchandise or selling product thinking there. I was born there. I never thought in a million times what I'm doing now, I could be able to do that. I was those kids who never had a dream. I never think, oh, I'm going to be like this. Never. I never had a dream. But because my father was doing business, only I thought after I grow up, I work with my father business. That is what I thought. I never one question about anything. For me, what was burning for me when I was growing up is to finish school. Even to finish, I was struggling. I was just keep going to school. So to be able to have that time, that time period to be somewhere and then I work with my father. So, but it didn't happen. But you see now, also that growing up in my father's a businessman, everything is businessman. Always that mind used to be in me, the powerful mind, how my father was connected in the business. You live a city where you connect to any high profile people around there. See, when you're kids, you don't know. So when you're growing up now, so the life we're talking about, so to know is worth the word. You go back. See, my life, to know, oh, these things connected, you go back when you were kids. When you grow up in Kigali there, how do you know I was not come now to be in television, to have my own TV, Rubasha media channel? How? It's because also that entrepreneur, that connection business there when you are kids there. See, because I thought if I can't do what my father was doing, I'm failing. But no. There's nothing to be like that. So the business, the exposure, it changed. So now that is where the background. See, like now, I'm sure the people we grew up together now, they see me, they're wondering how did it come? Because even me, I didn't know how it was going to come there. So that's why the other day I was recording, say, I learned. The learning after school is where I can advise people. So to finish high school, it's okay to finish diploma, whatever you finish. The learning now, after school, I think is the best. What I've learned in near 4 years now, 3 to 4 years, is much bigger than what I learned in anything there. So now, they change. I didn't go to school to learn English, to write like grammar, everything there. But now I can teach people from learning English on the street. I can talk. This powerful mind. The mind is going to teach you. The mind is going to teach you how to talk English. You see, there's something also sometimes as immigrant where we learn language or something. So when you learn language from immigrant, and the immigrant teach you language, and like English teach you English, is totally different. So when you learning English from immigrant, like people grow up together, when you make a mistake, they laugh at you like you couldn't be thinking, you made like a mistake, in the world. They laugh at you when sometimes you got scared to speak that language again. But now we'll start learning more other people. I think I realize English like their language. And when you make a mistake, they never laugh at you. They correct you politely. See, when they correct you nicely, you keep wanting to learn more. See, that I will learn from Mr. Brown, this church, talking there. I can say something. He never laugh at me. See, he listen and then he correct me nicely, like without knowing even he's correcting me. You see, that is where I say, okay. So now, my brothers, when you teach your friends or English or anything you teach, don't laugh at them. You see, because when you laugh at somebody, you feel something. You can't have that desire to continue. Maybe some, when they be laughed, they have to be angry to continue to learn. They don't be laughed at yet. But some who are weak, when you get laughed at you don't feel even to learn anymore. But you see that those things we learn after. You look, okay, this is how life is.
It's so true because the immigrants, they're the first one. It's so true. You think because we're the immigrants together, like, they're the ones they'll laugh.
If you make a mistake, you think you it's the end of the world.
They will laugh at you. They will say, you heard what you said. This guy knew you're useless.
It says
our English person or white man,
they never laugh at you because they love their language. They want to know their language.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're gonna love that one.